On this edition of Time About the Movies, we have the most anticipated blockbuster of the year to kick off the summer movie season, an ensemble cast of a project that had been in development for so many years, and people were finally waiting for it, and thus we finally have come to it. We're going to talk about the best exotic Marigold Hotel. Oh, and then there's also this other ensemble movie that came out this weekend that I guess people were looking forward to. Something about a team of superheroes that avenge. They're called the Avengers. Crazy stuff going on here. So we'll take a look at those movies today. May 4, 2012, the summer of 2012 movie season has officially begun on Time About the Movies.
You were made to be ruled. In the end, it will be every man for himself. What do we do? We get ready. There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people. So when we needed them, they could fight the battles that we never could. Gentlemen, what are you prepared to do?
No offense, but I don't play well with others. Big man in a suit of armor. Take that away. What are you? Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. If we can't protect the Earth, you can be damn sure we'll avenge it. Dr. Banner, your work is unparalleled, and I'm a huge fan of the way you lose control and turn into an enormous green rage monster. Hey.
Seems legitimate. Welcome to Time About the Movies. Today, we are taking a look at the two movies of May 4, 2012. And, of course, these are the films that kick off the 2012 summer movie season. A season that, like as per usual, has a number of highly anticipated blockbusters, with two of the big ones being The Dark Knight Rises, which comes out later in the year. And, of course, we have Marvel's The Avengers. And I knew it all along. Yeah, so before anybody says, like, oh, what are you talking about? It's just like, it's a joke, folks. As McBain once said, that's the joke. And then someone goes, you suck, McBain. And I bring out my AK-47 to shoot the audience. But anyway, let's talk about The Avengers. 5 movies have been building up to this. Iron Man, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Thor, The Incredible Hulk. You know, we've been waiting for this moment to come for so many years now. We really didn't think we were actually going to get this movie because, yeah, they've been talking about it, but Paramount didn't have the financial... Marvel didn't have the financial... what's the word I want to use here? The financial safety net. Let's just go with that. The financial safety net to actually fund this movie. That wasn't until Disney came in and bought Marvel for $4 billion. Because of that, we have finally gotten to this point where we can finally talk about this movie that had been building up ever since Nick Fury came into Tony Stark's living room and said, "I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative, Tony." And here we are. Let's take a look at the plot of this movie. Was it worth it in the end? Let's find out. This film stars the Avengers as Nick Fury, once again played by Samuel L. Jackson, director of the peacekeeping organization S.H.I.E.L.D., recruits Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Thor, Hawkeye, and Black Widow to form a team that must stop Thor's brother Loki from enslaving the human race. Of course, Captain America is Chris Evans, Iron Man is Robert Downey Jr., Thor is Chris Hemsworth, Black Widow is Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hiddleston is Loki, of course. New to the series in this movie, you have Kobe Smulders as Maria Hill. You also have Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, but most notably you have Mark Ruffalo as in the role of the Incredible Hulk, because Edward Norton passed up on the project because of financial reasons and creative differences from the Incredible Hulk, and so Mark Ruffalo came in, and the rest is history. It's the role that he's been playing ever since then, and quite frankly, he's actually really good as the Hulk in the MCU. And like I said, in the last 5 movies, we've been building this up and leading to this, and there was little doubt that this would be terrible, but there was still that thought that the build-up wouldn't work, as something like this had never been done before up to this point. And everyone thought this was going to be kind of there was the hope of excitement, but there was also kind of the dread that this could let a lot of people down and be considered a disappointment. But when we saw the movie, we came to the realization that Joss Whedon and Kevin Feige and everybody involved in this knew what they were doing, because this was their greatest achievement that Marvel had done at that point. I mean, this was easily the best movie they had made at that point in time. I mean, this is exactly how you make not just a great special effects summer blockbuster extravaganza, but also a great special effects extravaganza with everything that made The Dark Knight such a great film. Every character in here gets their chance to shine. The main characters work off each other really well, especially in the end when they're working together to defend off the evil threat of the movie. The chemistry is great, and Joss Whedon, I mean, he wrote the script for this, and he knew what it took to make a good superhero team film, and he made sure that everybody involved knew what they were doing, had great chemistry, and it paid off big time in the end. Everyone in the cast is great, but especially Mark Ruffalo, who is really, really good as the Incredible Hulk. And it's clear no matter who you get to play the Hulk, as long as you have good writing, he'll play out very well. I mean, Edward Norton was a great Hulk because of the writing, and even though the 2003 movie the Hulk film was a bad film, Eric Bana wasn't bad in that movie per se. He was just given a really bad script to work with, honestly, and bad direction from Ang Lee. This is a film that's paced very well, and once that last big climax starts, the pacing really doesn't come to your mind because you're just enjoying the film at this point. You're enjoying all these superheroes you've come to know teaming up and fighting the bad guys off. And yeah, it's an incredible point in the movie where it's just like, the third act is really the high mark of the movie. Everything about it works on every level. The comedy, the fighting, the special effects, the dialogue, everything just works. It's perfectly put together, and you can't really go look at this movie and not think to yourself, wow, we're seeing something that we haven't seen on the big screen before, and it's delivering on everything we could have asked for and then some. Does everything about the movie particularly work? Not exactly. There are a few little nitpicky things that I can say about the movie. For one thing, I kind of thought that Thor entering the movie was kind of not a good way to open him up in there. I mean, he comes in about half hour in, and he just comes in. They don't really give it a clear explanation to why. All they said that was, oh, Odin's magic brought him back there. And I think there could have been a better way to bring him into the movie, because we set everybody else up. We set up Nick Fury, we set up Hawkeye, we set up Loki, we set up Captain America, Black Widow, and all these other people. And yet Thor just comes in and just kind of like, hey, I'm here too. Like, I mean, I also didn't like the way they killed off the character of Coulson in this. It's been long since. I mean, he dies in this movie. That was a big deal back then, but then we find out that he's actually still alive because he's involved in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series, and it was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, it really felt unnecessary. I mean, but then again, Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury's character said in the movie they needed to push. That's the only reason they kind of did it here. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I thought it was kind of weird to kill him off, especially seeing that, he was coming back for that TV show they were doing, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think it really felt like they needed to do that in there. But then again, it's only a nitpicky thing. My only other real complaint about the movie is that there really was no reason for the villain to be somebody else but Loki. I mean, Loki's already a great villain as it is. He doesn't really need to be assisted by another villain who barely shows up except for the first scene and then 30-second increments throughout the course of the movie. Loki should have just been the main villain of the movie. I mean, but then again, it is Tom Hiddleston playing Loki, and that's usually a win in anybody's book when you really think about it. But regardless, I really dug the hell out of this movie. It's not just a great special effects bonanza, but it's a great special effects bonanza that's on the level of The Dark Knight. The writing is top-notch, the direction is great, the cast is great, the story is good. Joss Whedon gets it right and proves that you could have explosions and special effects, but you could have great dialogue and great fun all around to go along with it. I mean, this was, at the time, it was my favorite Marvel movie, passing Spider-Man 2. That's how great it was. It was great, old-fashioned fun, exciting action all across the board. At the time, it was Marvel's greatest achievement of filmmaking, but of course we've known that they get better from this point going forward. But at the time, this was really the new norm that was the beginning of the new norm that was going to take place, because they went on this hot streak after this with very few misfires, and we'll get to some of those as we go on, especially the first couple movies after the Avengers, which, needless to say, the two that came out in 2013 were not the strongest ones, but like I said, we'll touch on those in 2013. But the Avengers, great movie. What more do you have to say? So let's go ahead and take a look at the Avengers for older people, and that is the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
Time in India?
Yes, do you think we'll be all right?
It's going to be extraordinary.
This summer, go someplace exotic.
Welcome to the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
There's an Indian in there.
With Judi Dench, Bill Nighy, Tom Wilkinson, Penelope Wilton, and Maggie Smith.
India is about what you bring to it.
I'm really loving this.
Just want a glass of water. That was a gin and tonic. I know that now.
The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel.
It's tremendously exciting.
Rated PG-13.
Okay, it's not just the Avengers for older white people, it's mostly the Avengers for older British white people, pretty much. Because, yeah, you got Dev Patel, you got Judi Dench, Bill Nighy, Maggie Smith, Tom Wilkinson. The story follows a group of British pensioners who move to a retirement hotel in India, run by the young and eager Sonny, played by Patel. And this is directed by John Madden, who gave us Shakespeare in Love, and written by Al Parker, who later went on to direct Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, and Ticket to Paradise. And believe it or not, this is probably my favorite movie from this director. I mean, I didn't like Shakespeare in Love, but this movie I actually think is a whole lot better than that movie is. I think this was actually a fun movie overall. It wasn't a movie that was stuck so far up its ass like Shakespeare in Love was. And it works because the cast overall is great. You've got a lot of really good talent in here. You know, it's good to see Dev Patel in a movie like this, where he gets a chance to shine and show what he can do as an actor as a whole. Even though he's not really credited in the commercial you just saw. But it's an interesting movie. It's a really fun film that gives you a nice look at India overall. It's a really nice-looking place. The visual look of the movie is impressive. The movie overall is a lot of fun. The chemistry between everybody works very well. It was a real fun surprise. I was actually really impressed at how much I enjoyed this film. I actually thought it was very fun. And it worked because everybody was really giving their all. I mean, it's not a movie that's a groundbreaking film by any means necessary, but what it gives you in the end is a movie that is very fun and very well done overall. I really enjoyed the hell out of it. It was actually one of the biggest surprises I've had with a movie in a long, long time, honestly. I liked it. The Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. Definitely a movie that's worth checking out if you haven't seen it already. And thus, with all that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. And how do you wrap up a week? How do you come off a weekend where you had the Avengers coming out? Tim Burton will try to come at it with his latest film, Dark Shadows, starring Johnny Depp. We also have Girl in Progress. Those are the only two movies we've got, and we'll take a look at both of those movies coming up. That'll be tomorrow on the show, so stay tuned for that. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please go ahead and do me the honor of hitting that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification button. Also, don't forget to check out our playlist, and don't forget to check out the last episode we did. So with all that said, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.